Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Miami Stock Exchange. My name is Ivan, and welcome to a brand new YouTube video. Today is the May 29th of 2025. It is a Thursday. Today we're going to be going through the MNQ and ES, what happened to it today, and levels. Alarm. Bedtime. Bedtime can wait. And that text message can wait as well. So, okay, I just had to make sure. Alright, so, let's talk. Today is a unique day because you're going to watch me place levels completely out of self-analysis, which I do all the time, but you're going to see me in action. Ironically, today, my workspace for the software that I use got glitched and I had to restore it. As a result, all my levels cleared. Right now, we're going to start placing down levels. Previous levels from yesterday played out perfectly today. Let's get right into it, guys. We're going to start off with NQ in 3, 2, 1. Alright, straight to the point. We're going to begin with looking at the weekly chart. Very, very clear chart we got going on. So, the head and shoulders still continues on the weekly chart. As we can see, we can begin plotting down our level right here. And let me just select that. Video might be a little longer today because of our in-depth analysis that we have going on. What level would that be? 21,340, around there. Wait, because we're going to be doing adjustments. This is the daily chart. Notice how we are sort of coming back. Like, today, man, it was an interesting day. We're going to be looking around on the daily chart. This was our key level, the 21,330 area, 350. I'll just raise it just a little bit towards 550. My apologies. Raise it up, and we're gonna select this color. This was our key level that we have been watching that played out perfectly yesterday as well as today. A high around here. These highs, low. This is another important level. 21,180, around there. 4-hour chart. Loading about, let's do 356 days, not 365, 356. Looking at the 4-hour, we can see that the market has pretended, pardon me, the market has pretended like it wanted to go towards the upside. And I remember yesterday I was like, okay, there's room for potential to move higher, but ES hasn't broken above compared to how the NASDAQ did. If you watch my previous video, you can clearly hear me say that the ES was less controversial compared to the NASDAQ. And we can, delete that. We can place this level right here, high, and we can see that actually the market had a reaction towards right here. Wow, that's perfect. Look at that. Look how textbook that is. This high had a reaction today, and here it is. The market is back in the inside range that has been going for quite a while now, quite some time. Move back a level down here. This high over here, this one, these lows. Switching to the 60-minute time frame, we can zoom in just a bit clearer to see what's going on short-term wise. And we can see that there's a range going on. Once again, this is a key level to be looking out for. Again, per usual, the market does seem as if it wants to go higher but isn't able to because news aren't even that great. Just, the court said that there was a pause or on the tariffs, but that didn't change much. The market went higher and then went back down, ironically. And looking back at the 4 hour chart, we can see that this kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders that was formed. Interesting. Where does the market want to go now? Let's look at the intraday of what happened. Let's understand that, because that's very important. So this was yesterday. Remember, the short I took down here, market went up in the aftermarket, started touching these highs, and then in the pre-market decided to go down. Now, I'm impressed by how active the pre-market was. Like yesterday I was saying how potentially NQ was looking for a rejection, and it did do a rejection, and the market just tanked during the pre-market. I'm impressed, honestly, guys. And it's rare. It's not always you're going to be able to find that the pre-market has movement. So the market tanked down, touching again our clear 21,550 level, back inside the range. And we can see that during the session, the 9:30 session, the perfect break and retest down this level. I mean, this was just that was a beautiful short. And I actually entered today. I entered 2 trades. The first one was on the Nasdaq, and on MNQ I had one contract. It was a short, and it was actually right at this level, more or less. My entry was just a little lower. I'll show a picture in a moment. Right here, I will show an image. As you can see, I was entering a short under the 21,550 level, and the 535 was my entry, and I closed at just about like 15 points green, so nothing too crazy. The trade was taken at 10. Oh, so it was 3 minutes before 10, and today we had pending home sale, so that's why I kind of closed off early, because I can't hold into news yet. But as you can see, that was a beautiful trade that had a lot more potential, but I'm not going to regret it. I'm proud that I executed, and I know that I am capable of learning and establishing wiser and better trades. So, trusting the process. We're going to continue to see that the market rejected, and I decided to enter another trade. And I'll show that right now. This was at, what time is it? That was at 10:04. Actually, 10 minutes later, I saw another wonderful trade, and this was, that was on the 2-minute time frame. That was 2-minute MNQ time frame, and I am trying to look for it. Please bear with me. Oh, that's kind of unusual. Oh, that's because it's in ES. My apologies. I forgot that I took ES. Genius. 9:30 ES. There it is. This beautiful trade. So this was an open, went down, and you see under here, I entered short with this, what do you call it, a bearish pin bar with a doji candlestick. I entered short. The MACD line was red, so it aligned perfectly, and I made my target I had a partial around here, so the 59.30. My target was at 59.27, and here you can see that I entered short. I had 3 contracts on MES, and I took partial, and then I took partial of 2 contracts closed. It went towards my target, and before it reached my target, I closed my position, because I guess it's just a theory of not. Yeah, I still need to gain more trust into the market, because there are times when the market goes my way and then rejects and doesn't go. So that's why I close trades fast, which is safe but also improper because it has that mindset of, oh, please let me lock in some kind of gains. That's not how we're supposed to be. We're businessmen. We take risks. Business people, men, women, and so yeah, I'm not criticizing myself. I'm just noting things for improvement, and I'm also bringing out transparency. And I'm being frank with you guys. So, moving on, that was a good trade. As you can see, it continued much more down. And then the market started doing some retests, which is quite expectable. But in general, the market just maintained low. I mean, you can see yes, and we can see NASDAQ that the market was quite red throughout most of the time. Now, I just realized that my levels actually... Oh, wait, this is MES. Okay. Silly. So, NQ levels we got. Let's check out ES. Switching to the weekly. So, the box that the ES was in, it stayed in the box. Pull up the whole game, I'ma get lazy. Y'all remember that song? Anyways. Plotting levels based on my vision. Oops, meant to press the daily. There you go. This is the daily chart. I can't believe this is the daily chart. This was a key level, the 6,000 even level of ours. We can see this high right here, 60,050, and this is actually a nice low. This is a nice level to look out for. The 5,900, it's a psych level, and 5850 seems like a nice level as well. So I'm actually gonna highlight this level, the turquoise color, just like how we did on the NASDAQ with the 21,550 level, and the 4-hour time frame. We can load our days, and well, we can try it twice as much. Bear with me, bear with me. And okay. We can prior day, open, high, low, close. Okay, so looking at the intraday, the inverse head and shoulders, filled it fully, rejected the 6,000 level per usual, touching a key daily level 5,900, as well as look out for 5850 level. The market has been bullish, and then it hasn't been fully confident is the better way to call it. Like, it wants to be bullish, but it's not able to as of now. It's a game of patience, my friends, game of patience. So in general, for the NASDAQ, we have a pretty reasonably large range, but a level to look out for short-term wise would be the, we can call it the, over here, this low, these highs, what would that be? 350 level. I'm gonna highlight it a little different color so it's not the most indicated. Of course, we're gonna need to include our zones out of respect for organization. So we're gonna be able to place down a couple of zones. See, my charts have been cleared, so that's why we're in the process of doing all this. But you guys can deal with the zones by yourself. I'm just kind of doing this for my sake of organization, of knowing what are the proper zone areas to look out for. But this is a video of analysis as well as the back rooms of how I do it. How do I see my vision? You can look through my vision and see what I do. Of course, everyone has their own respectable visions and interests on the market. I'm just sharing mine because it is to my intention to do content. Creating content is cool. Okay, that looks much better. So, 4-hour time frame. NQ levels and ES levels. Let's see. 21,815. A level based on the daily chart. The 21,550, that's my key level that has been working throughout the past entire week. 21,350, a short-term level that could certainly be looked out for. Daily time frame level 21,170. Lower than that, 20,980. Or 21,000 even. That would be a more correct way to call it. Yes. Daily level 6050. Key level similar to the 21,550 is the 6,000 level. 5,900 key daily level. 5,850 also a level obtained from the daily chart. We together have obtained it. Tomorrow, what to expect? Well, tomorrow is Friday, so some people are certainly going to have their risk off. There's going to be less volatility. We can look at the news and see that on Friday there is possibly core PCE price index that could have an influence on the market. Chicago PMI at 945. At 10 there's consumer sentiment, which is also something to look out for. Within the process, I would say that we're looking at a market that's quite confused, and we're back in the range, so look out for short-term levels to look out for, just like levels from this zone, kind of like the 21,350 that we obtained earlier. Generally, the market has potential to do things, but I would say to take 10 out of 10 setups. Take setups that have confirmation, that have a reasoning behind them. Don't just take them just because you see some pattern set up. Take them with head and shoulders, a double top, or with a setup, RSI, MACD. I use MACD, me personally. I like it. Look for retest. Have a good entry. Don't have that last minute, oh, market's doing movement, I gotta take an entry as soon as possible type deal. Yes, it is good to be precise and to have timing, but being in the rush of forcing yourself, like hearing, like, oh, seeing that the market is, the candlestick is moving down so quick, it's getting so much larger. You are rushing yourself and you're not going to be prepared. You're not prepared mentally. You need to execute and think fast, but you need to have an idea behind it. Know where your stop loss is. Know where your target profit is. Where your partial is. Maybe use a trailing stop if that works with you. But be unfazed when you get executed. Don't be to the point where you execute and you think, snap, what is going on? I'm in an entry and I don't even know what to do with it. That is an incorrect mindset. Be aware of what you take and have reasoning behind it. Feel as if there's someone that you're explaining to, hey, here's a trade that I'm taking and that this is the reason why I'm taking it, right? And pretend like you're selling it to somebody. You're the seller and you're trying to convince someone to buy your product. Simple as that. Look out for liquidity grabs. In general today, life is fun if you make it fun, and it's only you and it is your choice to make it fun. And of course, I just feel in the process of studying stocks and just doing it, I've been enjoying like content and stuff like that. I don't want to jinx anything, but it's cool to plot down levels and just executing, learning business techniques. Life is short, so live in the moment and see the art of trading. I'm an artist. I like to draw things, and I even drew charts at some point in one of my artworks. Maybe I'll show it to you guys sometime. Enough yapping. We've been over 20 minutes. Guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, turn on that bell notification, share this video. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of plushies over there. Business is business. See you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Be prepared. Don't wake up at 9:30 and ask, "Oh, what's going on?" Wake up with analysis. Understand what is going on with the market. Miami Stock Exchange is out. Peace.